Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying close attention to the NFL landscape this season, you know that the Detroit Lions have been one of the most intriguing teams to follow. After a promising start to the season, there's been a lot of talk about what they need to do to elevate themselves into genuine Super Bowl contenders. And right now, one of the biggest questions swirling around the team is whether they're going to make a move to strengthen their defense, specifically at the edge rusher position. Because, let's face it, while the Lions have a solid roster, their pass rush could use some reinforcements if they want to truly contend with the heavy hitters in the NFC. And as of now, despite the need, they haven't pulled the trigger on any significant trades or free agent signings at that position. That's where the latest rumors come in, and believe me, it's enough to get fans excited about what could be on the horizon. So, what's the scoop? Well, according to league sources, including Nick Underhill from New Orleans Football, the Detroit Lions might actually have a prime opportunity to address this need through a trade. And not just any trade, but one that could significantly boost their pass rush for the remainder of the season and maybe even beyond. The key here is the New Orleans Saints, who currently sit at a disappointing 1-4 record. It's no secret that teams in that position often become sellers as the trade deadline approaches next month, and the Saints could be ready to part ways with some veteran players to rebuild or reconfigure their roster for the future. Now, the league buzz suggests that the Saints are open to listening to offers, which is huge news for the Lions. They have some intriguing options on their roster, especially on the defensive front. When it comes to edge rushers, the Saints have a handful of players that could fit the Lions' needs, but not all of them are realistic targets. For example, Kool-Aid McKinstry, the young cornerback, is probably off the table because he's just too valuable to the Saints right now and unlikely to be moved. But the edge rushers, that's where it gets interesting. The Saints have Carl Granderson, Chase Young, and Cameron Jordan. Now, Chase Young, despite his talent, probably isn't the best fit for Detroit, mainly because of questions about his effort and consistency over the years. The Lions are known for their culture of hard work and accountability, and Chase Young's recent injury history and some concerns about effort might not align with that. On the other hand, Carl Granderson stands out as a very intriguing option. At 28 years old, he's in his prime and already making an impact with 4-5 sacks this season, which ties him for 7th in the NFL. Plus, he's under contract through 2027, so Detroit wouldn't just be getting a rental. They'd be acquiring a player who could contribute significantly in the long term. Imagine adding a pass rusher who's still relatively young, proven on the field, and committed through the next few seasons. That could be exactly what the Lions need to boost their pass rush and help their defense become more disruptive, especially in critical moments. And then, of course, there's Cameron Jordan. Folks, this guy is a legend. An 8-time Pro Bowler with a wealth of experience and leadership, Jordan isn't quite the force he was in his prime, but he's still producing. This season, he's already got 5 sacks, and he's a player who can bring veteran leadership and stability to any defensive line. For Detroit, acquiring a player like Jordan could be a game changer, not just because of what he brings on the field, but also because of what he symbolizes in terms of experience and professionalism. And with his contract situation, set to be a free agent in 2026, there's a possibility that the Saints might consider parting ways if the price is right. The tricky part is the deal's structure, especially with the 4 void years attached to his contract, which could complicate negotiations, especially given the Saints' financial considerations. Now, if you're wondering which of these players the Lions are most likely to target, the consensus among insiders suggests that Cameron Jordan might be the most realistic option. His veteran presence, production, and relatively reasonable contract situation make him an attractive target. Plus, Jordan's leadership and experience could be exactly what the Lions need as they push for deep playoff runs and try to solidify their defense against some of the league's most dangerous offenses. But let's not forget, all of this remains speculative for now. The Lions have shown patience and strategic planning this season, and while adding a veteran pass rusher makes sense from a football standpoint, we have to keep in mind that the team's front office has been cautious about making moves early in the season. It's possible they'll wait until closer to the deadline, see what options become available, and evaluate whether the price is right. Still, the fact that these trade rumors are circulating is a positive sign that the Lions are actively exploring ways to improve their roster. And if they're able to land someone like Jordan or Granderson, it could be a real turning point for their season. Now, for those of you who have been following the Lions closely, you know that this team has been on an upswing. They've got a talented quarterback in Jared Goff who's been playing at an elite level, leading the offense with precision and poise. Their offensive line has also improved significantly, providing Goff with the protection he needs to make those key throws. But as we all know, football is a team sport, and defense wins championships. That's why bolstering the pass rush is so critical. It not only helps in getting to the quarterback, something that's been a bit inconsistent at times, but also in forcing turnovers, disrupting timing, and turning the tide of games in Detroit's favor. And speaking of the season so far, the Lions have shown resilience. After a slow start, they've managed to turn things around, winning some crucial games and demonstrating that they have the talent and the mental toughness to compete at the highest level. Still, the NFC North is a tough division this year, with teams like the Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers, and Chicago Bears all looking to make their mark. The division race is tight, and a strategic move at this point could give Detroit that extra edge they need to secure a playoff spot and make a real push toward the Super Bowl. Now, you might be asking yourself, what does this all mean for the Lions' long-term plans? Well, it's pretty clear that General Manager Brad Holmes is not content with just piecing together a good team. He's looking to build a contender, something that can compete not just this season, but for years to come. Acquiring a player like Cameron Jordan or Carl Granderson wouldn't just be a short-term fix. It could be part of a broader strategy to establish a dominant, disruptive defense that complements the high-powered offense Detroit already boasts. It's about creating a balanced team, one that can win in multiple ways and withstand the grueling demands of a playoff run. And of course, we have to keep an eye on the financial implications. The Lions are known for being prudent with their cap space, especially with some critical contracts coming up in the next couple of years. Bringing in a veteran like Jordan with his existing contract structure might require some creative cap management, but if it pays off with improved performance and a shot at the Super Bowl, it'll be well worth it. The team's front office has shown they're willing to make bold moves when the opportunity arises, and right now, the potential trade market for these Saints players is exactly that, an opportunity waiting to be seized. So, in summary, the Detroit Lions are at a pivotal moment. The potential to add a top-tier pass rusher through a trade with the Saints, whether it's Cameron Jordan or Carl Granderson, could be the move that elevates their defense to a whole new level. It's the kind of decision that could define their season and maybe even their franchise history. Lions fans, you should be excited because the team is clearly eyeing ways to get better, to push for that Super Bowl we've been dreaming about for so long. And if they make that move, it might just be the start of something special in Detroit. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Jordan or Granderson would make the difference? Or do you believe the Lions should wait and see how the season unfolds before making a big trade? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. Remember, this team is built on community and passion, and your voice is a big part of that. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for this exciting team. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Lions!